Hello, this is Azrael, and today we are going to be talking about sympathetic magic. This is a very common form of magic found in witchcraft. Basically, it works on the occult principle of like attracts like. It also can come in the form of imitative magic and what some people would call contagious magic. An example of these two forms would be if I was to be a warrior and I want to have a successful hunt, I would dress up as the animal I'm hunting, and the rest of the villagers would pretend to hunt me. And when they succeed in this hunt, the real hunt in real life will end in success as well. And for contagious magic, say you bless an object for good luck, and you'll also have good luck when you are around this object. If you carry it with you, you will reap the benefits of good luck because you have something that you're holding that is good luck. So one more example would be if me and my wife want to have a red-haired child, we would make love in a red-colored room on red bed sheets, maybe wear red lingerie. We would probably go so far as to dye our hair red or maybe eat food that has been colored red. All this to try to increase the chances of our offspring having red hair. Now, this example fits perfectly with the example in the Bible I'm about to discuss. And it can be found in the book of Genesis, chapter 30, 25 through 43. This will give you the full story. I'm just going to give you a compressed version of it. Basically, Jacob is in servitude, and his working time is up, and he wants his payment. And he wants the permission to go ahead and take his wives and children back to his home. And because Jacob is so good at what he does concerning cattle, this dude doesn't want him to go. So when Jacob says, "For my payment, all I want is the striped, spotted, and speckled cattle for payment," the old guy says, "Sure," but then hides all these striped, speckled, and spotted cattle from Jacob. So he can't be paid. So the scripture says, Jacob, however, took fresh cut branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees, and made white stripes on them by peeling the bark and exposing the inner white parts of the branches. Then he placed these peeled branches in all the watering troughs, so that when these livestock would come and drink, they would see these stripes and the speckled and the spotted pieces of wood that he would put on them. Uh, they would have striped, spotted, and speckled animals. He would then do it again, only this time making streaks. And whenever the strongest females were in heat, Jacob would place the branches in the troughs in front of the animals, so when they would go there to drink and also mate, they would see the branches, and then their offspring again would be born with the same patterns. So we already know that genetics actually does not work this way. So if it's not true science, then it must be magic science. Jacob is without a doubt trying to influence the colors, patterns of the sheep and the rest of the livestock that is to be born using a magical sympathetic means. However, Christians don't want to hear this. And this one passage in the Bible is also used by atheists to ridicule Christianity or even the Jewish faith because it's in the book of Genesis, because this is not scientifically accurate. So, what does Christian fundamentalism do? They perform mental backflips, just about breaking their wrist, trying to hop through hoops to try to make sense of this, and all the while become even more dishonest. One claim says that, well, it must have been chemicals from the wood uh, when they put it in the trough, which did something with its DNA to promote it. So what they do is they take one scientifically inaccuracy and they make another scientifically inaccurate claim, to try to justify it. The other claim is that, well, these sheep and livestock were members of the other livestock too, other brothers and sisters, so they must have the DNA in them to begin with. Well, that is true. However, that still would not explain why he had to take the time to make all these stripes and speckles and spots in order to try to have their livestock mate in front of these patterns so they could have that kind of patterned child. So that's even a bad scientific claim on their part. Clearly, Jacob is using the old belief that like attracts like. So the moral of this specific story, if you have an ugly wife or ugly husband, don't look directly at him when you're making love if you don't want to have ugly children. All right. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Take care.